one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was like shoes. Regarding, people need to get good shoes if they're going to do this kind of outdoor activity, and that's one thing we're talking about for me is getting me some decent shoes.
So I think one thing that if you're doing just really simple day hikes, a good sturdy pair of sneakers is probably sufficient. But if you're getting on trails where they're rocky or there's a lot of incline or decline, you really do need a sturdy bottom shoe. Me personally, I look for a shoe with a Vibram sole. And I can't even tell you exactly what that means, but it has a yellow emblem on the bottom of your shoe that'll actually tell you it's got Vibram support in it, and that helps provide the support to your foot. I guess it's a sturdier insole. The other thing for me is the way that I tie my shoes. So some people will tell you that for a sturdy boot you need a higher shoe, that you need something that comes up higher on your ankle. I have always been taught that's not true. That as long as your ankle is securely cupped into your shoe, that's what's providing the support to your ankle and making sure you don't roll your ankle, not actually the height of your shoe. So I actually hike in a low shoe. I hike in a trail runner with a Vibram sole, and I tie my shoes differently so that my foot can't slide forward as I'm going downhill. That makes sure that my foot is supported correctly in the shoe, but it also prevents blisters on your toes, which can be a big problem for hikers.
Well, we were trying on shoes for me this past weekend to go hiking, and the shoes that came higher actually felt cut into me.
Yes, and I have that problem too. And the other tip I would recommend if you're doing any type of hiking where it's going to be hot out or you're wearing any kind of a pack or going longer distance is go up half a size. It'll feel too big in the store. It'll feel great on your foot once your feet start swelling, and they will swell when you're hiking, especially if you have any kind of weight on your pack or on your back.
And then I imagine too, if you're going uphill and downhill, if you're going downhill, your toes tend to want to slide to the front of the shoe anyway.
Right, and that's another great reason to tie your shoes differently. So use your imagination. Pretend this is a hiking shoe. One thing you can do to help prevent those blisters is you're going to actually just take it out of the top loop of your shoe. You're going to feed it back through on the same side. So see how there's now a loop on the top? And then once your foot is in there, the way that you'll anchor your heel in place is to take and come across through the opposite loop on each side. And when you pull, it'll actually pull in. So imagine there's a foot in there. It'll pull in, and you tie your shoe like normal. It actually anchors your heel in place. It prevents the movement forward of your toes when you're going downhill, and it'll stop the friction and the blistering on your toes. It'll prevent you losing toenails on long hikes.
Okay. That is good to know.